All right, and here we go, guys. Down to the 6 o'clock position on Terminus. We have Millenium.Stephano. He is spawning as our pink Zerg player. His opponent over here at the 3 o'clock position. And despite the fact that this is game number 5, only the second representative from Mouz, that is Morrow. He's our red Terran player.
And one thing I really like about watching Morrow's TVZ is just a lot of the little things that he does as a Terran that, you know, he has insight because he plays so much Zerg. Like, his walls are always super tight. His building placement is always rock solid. And it's just really neat to watch sometimes. The only thing I would say that he struggles with sometimes is his positioning and sometimes getting caught unsieged, things like that. That's something that just takes a lot of experience. And as a Terran player, you kind of work that in multiple matchups. You work it in TVT and you work it in TVZ as well, because tanks are just such a focal point in both of those matchups. So that's really the only area I would say that he struggles with. Other than that, you know, he's got solid macro. His builds are good.
I mean, he was like the first guy that I was seeing really popularize the, I should say outside of Korea a little bit, because I saw a lot of people in Korea that were using this too, but, you know, that full supply depot wall that you were alluding to before, because just how well it prevents any sort of Zergling backstabs with one bunker in the middle, maybe a siege tank behind that.
Oh, man, Jockji's walls.
Oh, Makarax. All right.
Jockji's walls in the GSL finals.
Oh, yeah.
So well done.
Yeah.
All of them. And he was using sort of the Protoss FE style where he kind of connects supply depots to the command center as opposed to making it out front.
Not only were they so clean, but they were the absolute minimal investment in resources needed to remain completely protected against any sort of a counterattack or run-by.
Yeah, we saw multiple counterattack run-by attempts from Lenok, and it just didn't work out for him.
Between Lenok's attempted bailing bombs and his attempted backstabs against a lesser Terran player, he would have won that set like 5-1.
Well, some of those Baneling bombs certainly paid for themselves in spades.
Well, I'm just saying that.
No.
They in one particular instance they won him a game.
Yeah.
But what I'm specifically referring to is that if you didn't have Jockji's preparation and the way he executed his building placement, he would have been outright killed by Lenok on several occasions.
I agree. I mean, he was just so meticulous throughout the entire series. And then also that build on Crossfire was just like, I win.
Yes, it was.
The 3 racks single fact push with the 3 Hellions.
Enjoy this.
Yeah, that was dirty. I would do that on that map too. I mean,
for sure.
Pushes on that map are just so good. Early game pushes are so good on that map. Lenok was not ready for that.
And looks like Stephano, did he even get over and scout? Let me take a look. No, he doesn't know where his opponent's at yet, so the racks on the low ground didn't really offer anything for Morrow at the moment. He is just going to go with a pretty typical Hellion expand, as he's about saved up to 400 resources, and there we go.
Command center coming up. The command center.
The command center is ready. Anyway, Stephano transferring a few drones over, but he didn't. What I'm saying is he didn't scout, so he didn't overreact. He didn't produce any extra Zerglings. 4 Zerglings and a drone with that same 3 larvae that came out. So he is opening. Looks like pretty standard for both players here.
Yep, double Hellion reactor opener from Morrow, very standard.
Just have not seen a lot of Terran players in this tournament so far. Yesterday it was Protoss and Zerg for Slayers every single game. This time, this is actually our first Terran player in Morrow.
There we go. And it's Morrow, of all people.
Yeah, of course. The guy who plays Zerg in 2/3 of his matchups.
Still no tech lab on his racks, which is kind of interesting.
Yes.
Generally, you will see players slap down a tech lab on that racks almost immediately.
He is building a lot of gas, and like you said, normally at about this time, you'd switch over. Boom, you've got stim, or you can switch back and get siege mode really early. You have a lot of flexibility, but not having it there means he's just spending a lot, or saving up a lot of gas. There's finally the tech lab. Ooh, macro CC.
There it is.
All right, Morrow making his way out now with a couple of Hellions, but Stephano, he's not going to take much damage from this, if at all. This is just going to provide Morrow quite a bit of map control at the moment. Maybe able to get a creep tumor. Yes, he does. Not canceled, so a good little win for him, but that's all the damage he'll be able to do.
Still, though, super frustrating as a Zerg player to have those picked off, especially when you can't cancel it.
And when you're using the absolute, you need every little piece of energy you can get out of your queens at the beginning of the game.
Especially at this point,
Oh, no! A Zergling gets into the main, and that's going to get a complete full scout, sees the macro CC and everything.
No dear. And it's still in the main.
Yep. Finally does get cleaned up, though, over at the right-hand side.
So Stephano knows exactly what Morrow's up to here. But, I mean, I'm sure he's not surprised. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
No,
very simple build on this map. He's going to go up to 3 base relatively quickly. Double Evo.
That's an interesting choice because, yeah, I was about to say, he didn't react to that by throwing down a macro hatch right away. He didn't commit to a ton of tech. He actually put up a ton of drones and then threw down a second evolution chamber as soon as he saw that macro CC.
Which is kind of interesting.
And here's that wall we were talking about before. 2 supply depots, bunker, couple of supply depots.
Yep, and that'll keep him nice and safe to any kind of run-bys, any kind of backstabs. And also just parking those Hellions right outside the natural, going to deny any kind of creep spread from Stephano. Just slow him down that much more, keep tabs on what he's up to, how big his Zergling army is. And just solid game thus far from Morrow. He is down a little bit on supply, but yeah, that's understandable at this point in the game. 18 Zerglings coming out for Stephano
especially
right now.
when you go into a macro CC like that. But yeah, 18 Zerglings, you're absolutely right. +1 melee attacks coming down as well. Now, Stephano did quad gas, and he has quite the income at the moment, so we're going to see some tech when Lair finishes up. We have yet to see exactly what that's going to be, but this is very Stephano-like right now. Mass defensive lings as he sits on superior upgrades and tech and just waits until he can mass a very late-game unit.
Yeah, he does have the 1/1 upgrades on the way here. He's actually moving his Spinecrawler forward a little bit here.
Yeah.
Could actually get out there and surround those Hellions if Morrow wasn't paying attention. And looks like a bad rally there for his Overlords.
Overlords just hanging out at the Overlord Convention in the middle of Terminus. There are 3 siege tanks up now for Morrow.
The convention has been shut down.
Oh, has it been? Oh, they're finally distributing themselves.
It's like chatting about where they're going to go.
See you later, Jim.
It's like, all right, I'm going
I'm going to the bar.
Left.
Yeah.
I'm going mid-left. I'll go top middle. No, I want top middle. All right, guys. Break.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, third base coming up now for Stephano, though, that is quite a bit behind Morrow, as he already does have down what was a macro CC is now a legitimate third base in. Consequently, his supply has started to skyrocket. Lair tech is actually done. These Zerglings are making their way out there. They've already taken some damage from the Hellions, but everything has not been done quite yet. Trying to get away back home. Surrounds 2 of the Hellions, and he's not going to be able to do any more damage. Gets 2 kills, but where are the, let's see, macro CC and I'm sorry, not macro CC, macro hatch and normal hatch coming up, and the infestation pit has already finished. So this is Stephano circa September, which is defensive lings, establish map control, and pump out a ton of infestors.
Yep. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing here. We did just see him produce 19 drones to saturate that third. He's going to get that up and running. Yeah. He's also got his 4th coming in the midfield.
Look at his map control right now. I almost don't have to switch back to Morrow's vision because Stephano just has it all. Look how many lings are out there.
Yeah, he has full control over the entire map. He also has Overlords in position, lings in position to catch drops. I really like it. Just super solid play thus far. Morrow really getting his infrastructure going, though.
Yeah, Morrow does have is still doing really, really well in this game because of how early he was able to establish that CC without any sort of pressure. And there you go. Yeah, as you're commenting on right now, we have 2 more factories coming up in addition to those additional racks.
So Morrow wants some heavy siege tank production here, and I actually really like that against the Infestor. Heavy ling play.
Has he seen the infestation pit yet? I'm sure he can assume, especially because I'm sure he's well versed on Stephano's playstyle. But yeah, it looks like he is going to stop producing so many Marines for right now and produce a ton of mech units.
Mixing in Blue Flame Hellions, I think, would be actually a great decision on his part. He needs to be careful here, though. He's moving out. None of his tanks are sieged.
Adrenal Glands and Ultralisk Cavern coming up now for Stephano. Not actually going the Spire route at all once you get up some Ultras.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Morrow wants to establish a position here at his 4th to potentially grab that and work his way towards Stephano. Now, this is a situation where I don't think Ultras are necessarily going to be that great for Stephano, just because Morrow can work off these 3 factories and just produce so many tanks and just slowly creep his way towards Stephano's 4th as he takes his 4th on the way.
Yeah.
Which I think could make things very difficult for Stephano because he's not going to have Mutalisks to pick off the tanks. He's not going to have Broodlords to pick off the tanks. Every time he wants to engage, he's going to have to full engage with all these lings. And, I mean, it's just really dangerous for him.
And as Destiny said about Ultras, when you're really far ahead as a Zerg player and you want to throw away a game, build an Ultralisk Cavern. So,
yeah.
We'll see if that actually ends up happening. Of course,
I mean, it can go the other way too.
Smaller, but
are they really?
Definitely, yeah. They're smaller and they have the charge ability. So
I don't like
they're,
that.
They're kind of cool. No, they're going to be super viable. Now,
should reduce the Thor size too.
All right, you get Super
make
Thor
it bigger.
now. Yes. All right, here come the Zerglings. They're going to swing their way in right now. The drop is over the left-hand side, but we'll check that in just a second, as these Zerglings are actually killing so many siege tanks. This did a lot better than I actually anticipated this doing, I have to admit.
All the tanks
was
have gone
on
down.
a great position there for a while, and now he's down to the bare minimum of defensive units left, and this next base is wide out in the open. 4 Ultralisks coming up with an additional 24 Lings at the moment.
Oh, man. So I'm almost clearing the entire tank line there. Supplies now in Stephano's favor, 153 to 136, and more importantly, as you said, he cleared the tank line right there, which is just such a big deal. Now these Ultras are just going to be so effective. Only a handful of Marines out on the field for Morrow. And, you know, what's Morrow going to do here? He's just now transitioning into Ghosts, and Stephano pouring on the hurt right now, wants to continue attacking with these Ultralisks, is just not allowing Morrow to take a position at the 4th.
Right.
And that is going to cause huge problems for Morrow later on in this game.
Yeah, it really is. These Siege Tanks in pop-up mode are going to do quite a bit more damage per second to the Ultralisks, which is why he didn't siege those up right there. But Ultralisks are going to stream in just a second now, and there's not too much Morrow can do about this. His drops have been cleaned up multiple times. Stephano is now on 5 base. He's breaking down the front wall as well. Ghosts are only going to prove to be so successful against the Ultralisks, and Stephano's looking very good at the moment.
Some snipes going down there on the Ultralisks, but Stephano may be able to just outright kill him here, sending some Lings into the mineral line. A lot of SCVs are going to go down to this Ultralisk here. He is focusing the Ghost for the time being, but Zerglings were sent into the mineral line.
And now Stephano has to quit sending in units.
Yeah.
All right. So, but he's already disrupted the production. He's killed SCVs. Right now, I don't even know how many more minerals. Yeah, not too much here for Morrow. He has to get a 4th going pretty soon. Looks like Morrow's drop is going to get cleaned up one more time. Stephano is on top of it, and his production looks very good. More Ultras actually coming out. I want to take a look at any of those. Are there any Ultras on the field? No. When one pops up, I don't know if he researched chitinous plating yet or not.
Well, the Ultra Cavern's right by the main.
Oh, is it? Should I miss it?
Below.
Thank you. No, has not researched chitinous plating. Very surprised about that. Yeah.
He did get adrenal glands, but did forget about chitinous.
Zerglings. That helps explain part of why he broke the siege line so easily with the Lings before, is because the adrenal glands are so powerful. There we go. Looks like he's realized his mistake now. And Overlord in hot pursuit of the medevac running across the map there.
Yeah, both medevacs actually have tabs on them. It's going to be very difficult to get a sneak drop in, especially as you mentioned before, the map control from Stephano. He can just see everything right now. And he's actually going to push again.
Yes, he is. Now, this is a lot of units in a small choke point right here, and those siege tanks are well positioned to take out those units. So Stephano's smartly retreating at the moment. Needs something to be able to siege this this very, very effective line of defense there over at the Natural of Morrow.
Yeah, it certainly is.
All right, let's see here. Chopping down a couple of infested Terrans. Had pretty good energy on those infestors and can expend that. Hopefully they'll walk their way up in a second. This is essentially an observer for Morrow, is what he's using this for.
Yes. His medevacs are frontline scouting units at this point, but he's just so choked up right now. Morrow has full map control. He's got him boxed in. He has control over the outside of his base. Morrow just cannot move out. His creep is extending all over the midfield right now.
I've got to say, Stephano, these 2 games, his creep spread, despite even adversity, like in the game he played against Hasselwabs, has actually been phenomenal.
Yeah, and even in this game, having the Hellions parked outside the front, having them pick off the first tumor he put down as well.
Both players are maxed. And let's see, these Ghosts are pretty higher energy as well. A couple of EMPs and leftover snipes for the rest of these Ultras and Infestors is going to prove to be pretty effective. Morrow using this orbital command now, essentially, as a scout. There's one EMP. Pretty clutch. Hits a lot of Infestors.
Yeah, that was a really nice EMP right there. We have a double drop over at the 5th. And that's going to take some serious damage. There are links coming, though, right now. He needs to back those Marines and Marauders into a corner or pick them up and get out.
No, he's just not. No. He's more worried about the units at the front. Stephano knows his attention is a little bit occupied. More EMPs did go down, so there's not much energy left on these infestors. These adrenal gland 3/3 lings can do so much damage. There's a couple of clutch fungal growths going down. Ultras are going to try and move in and clean up the rest, but Morrow has held.
And he's going to kill all the infestors on their way out.
God.
He's also mixing Marauders into his unit composition now, but he really needs to grab that fourth. It's oh so important for him to grab that fourth right now. He's going to scan and kill a few of these creep tumors. And he misses the one in the corner there, which is going to continue to block that orbital.
Yes. So that's actually terrible for Morrow, as he needs to put down some sort of command center anywhere. Don't care where now. And here come the Zerglings once again. Not all of the siege tanks were sieged up. The Ghosts are sitting at the back trying to snipe as quick as possible. One of the Ultras does go down. The Marines are doing quite a bit of damage as well, and that frontline engagement force for Stephano is going to get killed.
And all of the Ultras have gone down as well. Morrow now able to establish himself at the fourth. If he can hold on at the fourth, I definitely think he has a chance here. Stephano, if he continues to pour on the hurt and continues to trade very well, which he has been thus far, and he will here as well too, I believe, could end up shutting down the fourth once again. These Ultras just taking so much Marine damage, hardly even getting hurt. It's really the tanks here that he needs to worry about, and the Ultra going to start working on those tanks. Look at that bungle. How many mules was that?
Quite a few. Oh, wow. Actually doesn't get the second one down, though. So, no, they're just weakened up for the Adrenal Gland 3/3 Zerglings to move in afterwards, and a lot of economy has gone down. Morrow's starting to fight this back, though, with the amount of units he has left. The siege tanks are trying to siege up as well, and it looks like he will finally be able to move those units away as he's dropping the left-hand side once again. There is an Ultralisk there. There's enough medevac cover. It looks like that with good control. No, wow. Morrow actually forced to pick up and move away, so this base not taken out once again, but he has established his fourth. And we have a crazy back and forth game. Morrow is certainly still in this, though.
Morrow hasn't really done very much damage, though. That's the problem. I mean, he's been dropping. He denied the sixth a few times, but all in all, the drops really haven't done that much damage, and that's kind of crazy because Stephano's just utilizing a no-air style, so he has no air control. He just has to rely on intercepting these dropships or scouting them on the way in and then taking it from there.
Yeah, certainly. And Stephano now, let's see, are there any other drops coming in? Saw those Ultralisks were retreating, possibly. Don't think there was anything, though. Looks like Stephano has pulled ahead back in supply by about 30. Morrow, he is on almost 3/3, I'm sorry. He's getting +3 armor now, and he's getting +3 weapons for the siege tanks in addition. So he has a very high damage output army, and with a considerable amount of snipes and EMPs, should be able to mitigate the infestors and Ultras a little bit. He's going to drop once again and deny the 6th base from Stephano. Are there any units making their way up? No, not really. Should be able to get a cancel pretty easily.
I think he should as well. He is sending quite a few lings over there to deal with this drop going off in the main of Morrow right now. Quite a few speedlings. He actually didn't unload a full Overlord. I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah, it looks like he's just realized that. So, but the Ghost Academy going down to the supply depots is very, very bad for Morrow. He's going to need to replenish those pretty quickly, as he is going to be supply capped in no time at all.
We're the 1%. Occupied Terran main. The Terran main is getting fully occupied right now.
Stephano cannot break the siege position, though. That's the third time he's tried to move up there and do some damage. Oh, wow. The supply depot is going down very quickly, and there it is. Morrow is supply blocked.
That is a lot of turrets to be throwing up right now. He must be worried about some sort of a Spire transition, and the Spire just now getting dropped for Stephano, so it looks like he's going to try and transition into Broodlords here. The Broodlings themselves are going to have really good upgrades, but the Broodlords will not.
Correct. And let's actually see here. Yeah, the Broodlings are going to be on 3/3, but of course this is the first time we've even seen the appearance of a Spire so far. And Stephano runs away with those lings at almost exactly the moment that Morrow comes back with another drop. So he will be able to take out this base once again. Looks like he's trying to establish a planetary fortress over here towards the 12 o'clock as well, in the middle of the map. So he's going to have a nice defensive position. He continues to press the siege position forward as well. Look at that. We have a nuke coming up as well.
Now, if he can utilize... Oh, and he's cloaking in here to get some EMPs on the infestors. Very nice.
Very nice. Oh, wow. Gets
huge
most
EMPs
of
going
them.
Down.
There's only 2 infestors that have energy, so only a couple of fungals will be able to hit the army, and he should be able to recloak and drop a nuke here in a bit as well, helping that siege position just move farther forward.
Yeah, very true. Now, the nuke is done. 3-3 is finishing right now, so he's going to want to push any second now. And there is the offensive nuke at the 4th.
Oh,
Stephano still has not reacted. Let's hope he doesn't leave all of his units here.
No, this could be so bad for Stephano. Has he picked up on this? The red dot is there. It's visible. No, this nuke is going to land.
Oh, my God.
Oh!
No way.
So much damage done right there. 3 more nukes being produced at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. This game has just gotten incredible.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
I think a few Ultras actually died on that.
They took about 300 damage.
I think a few of the weak ones actually died.
A couple of the weak ones died.
And almost all the infestors.
Oh, my God. So Morrow does deny that base. He's denied the base over at the 9 o'clock over and over again. We have more nukes that are just about to finish up as well.
And he's just creeping his way more and more towards that 4. Stephano looks to be going for it here. He's sending in all the Ultras, but the position for Morrow is so good. The Ultras are just going to get devastated here. Beautiful positioning from Morrow. Just so patient.
God. And Stephano is so far back now. He's not producing off of that many bases. There's another nuke about to land. Not going to...
Oh my God.
There's 3 nukes about to land. It looks like he wants to bait some units out into the middle of the map. We're going to see if Stephano actually bites on this. I don't even know if he has units to bait. That base goes down.
If he can kill the bases on the left side here while nuking defensively, he's going to be in a great spot. And Morrow showcasing some very high-level TVZ right now.
Oh, my God. 10 Broodlords are morphing in now, though. There are an additional 46 Lings coming up to support this army. And Morrow admittedly has lost a little bit of supply. He is way down in workers at the moment because of those units that dropped in before. And he's really only effectively mining off of, well, I guess 2 bases now at the moment.
I wouldn't even say effectively at that.
Yeah.
He's hardly mining at all.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But Stephano's about in that same position. Only a token amount of mining in the bottom right, and this base right here, he has just not been able to get this 6th base established.
No, he really hasn't. And there we have another CC going down for Morrow. But hold that thought. All of these Broodlords, the Armada, making its way in here. Cloaked Ghosts heading in right now. Is he going to try and nuke the Broodlords? Oh, Overseers. Multiple Overseers this time.
All right, and there's a nuke, but it looks like Stephano is up on that one. He is going to move away at the moment. He's really got to establish that next base. Oh, God, Morrow. Oh, cancel this in a second. Please cancel this. Please,
later turret.
Please cancel that and kill his own turret. Okay, all right. Planetary Fortress is up over at that 12 o'clock field with another base being put in at the same time. Stephano, these Ultras are so low at the moment. With that Overseer, though, the amount of damage from the nuke should be mitigated quite a bit. There's the Ghost in the middle with that nuke, and he's going to try and bait a few units back, flank around and force them through the side here, but it looks like all that's going to do is suicide a Ghost.
And that Ghost taking one for the team right there. Calling a nuke down on himself. This drop is going to get cleaned up, though. Morrow needed to be much more careful with that. The Corruptors are going to start working down these medevacs. Fungal goes off on all the medevacs.
No, and Stephano is once again up by about 50 supply. He's done so well at trying to get himself back into this. Those Broodlords have not taken any damage thus far, and all of a sudden, where Morrow was significantly ahead, he's now quite far behind. And there we go. The Infestor moves up. And these infested Terrans are going to deny mining at that base for a pretty significant period of time.
What a back-and-forth game thus far from both these players. Now that is where he needed to be nuking this entire time.
I agree with you 100%. Stephano's up on it, though. He moves away, can burrow if he wants. I heard another nuke go down. Looks like it's in the middle of the map. Stephano not going to bite on that one either.
This nuke will start to weaken the hatchery and get rid of those static defenses. It's also going to deny mining time. Just frustrating Stephano with these nukes, I'm sure. Continuing to build them as well, but Morrow is certainly down on supply right now. He needs to find a way to max out, and max out now.
And are we going to get another nuke here in a second? No, he's actually out, producing 2 more at the moment, and that cloaking is actually going to go away. And here we go. Corruptor, Infestor, Ultra, Zergling, fully upgraded with Broodlords in addition. Ghosts are making their way out. How much energy do they have? The answer is not a lot. We will see a few snipes here. A couple of these Broodlords are going to go down very quickly. But with that Overseer, the pack of Overseers there, I should say, the Ghosts are actually neutralized pretty quickly.
Yeah, they certainly are. And Stephano just morphing in more Broodlords here.
And is he going to get away? Oh, this is really Morrow's chance. Where's that ghost at? I actually don't know where the ghost is.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The nuke could land directly on the army. No, the ghost gets taken out.
Oh, that was so close.
Oh, and the nuke could have turned that game around, but it looks like Stephano's actually going to overrun the position here.
I think Stephano could take the game with this. This is one of Morrow's last mining expansions, and it's been his bastion throughout this entire game. It's been the staging point for all of his invasions into Stephano's natural and his fourth. Stephano losing quite a few Broodlords here, though, to these Vikings. He has no anti-air. He could end up losing all of these. Morrow needs to fall back with whatever units he has remaining and try and hold the line to the ground forces. There are 2 infested Terrans down. They're going to kill both those Vikings immediately. Might kill the third.
And they do, as a matter of fact. So these Broodlords have really nothing to take them out. The Marines are starting to get picked back slowly but surely. And Stephano's pushing in for that really killer blow. And once he starts camping production, that is going to be very difficult for Morrow to try and recover from.
Just such a well-played game from Stephano, just keeping it cool under fire, remaining calm under pressure, falls back, switches over to Broodlords, which I think would have been the right choice in the first place. The Ultra's really just not working out for him.
I definitely
agree. And now
agree.
the Broodlord's just working wonders. He's camping the main production right now for Morrow, and I can't help but think that we are very close to a GG here. Units streaming in from all over.
I definitely agree with you, but looks like Morrow trying to cling on to hope at the moment. He is producing quite a bit. I don't think the Ghost Academies have gone down. Is there a Ghost out anywhere? Maybe could try to land in Miracle Nuke. No Ghosts are out there at all, and it is just going to be pure Marine Viking to try and combat this force, and the Lings just keep flooding in. We have 100 supply advantage now for Stephano. There's the lift out of Morrow, and I can't help but think that's a little bit of just frustration on his part, especially when he landed that clutch nuke in the pocket expansion and obliterated Stephano's army.
Yeah, I think that Morrow had to have known that he had the upper hand there. He's got to be very frustrated with himself. Nonetheless, a great TVZ here for the Team Arena Challenge. What a great game between these two.
Yeah,
I think Morrow's down and out, though.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. This Planetary Fortress not even helping. Kills an Ultra, but doesn't really help to defend the SCVs that are going to go down here. The Planetary Fortress falls. The Broodlord's just deciding to take the damage because why not? There they go. Broodling Strike taking out that missile turret that was sitting there, and Morrow is down to his last legs. A couple of orbital commands here. The units are going to run free inside of his base, and that is going to be all she wrote.
All she wrote, indeed. Morrow just kind of letting things settle in right now. Supplies at 155 to 45 for Morrow.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like he was trying a last-ditch drop, and he did manage to kill a base on the left-hand side, but Zerglings come by and clean that. There's the GG, and Stephano has come back, and one of the best games we have ever seen here at the IPL.
Unreal.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing.
I know exactly what I'm using for my analysis. It's going to be that game right there.
All right, so there it is. I just accidentally switched over to Mouse. That's the wrong winner screen. Congratulations to Millenium. Sorry, guys, so hyped up after that game. Threw up the wrong one. That was indeed Millenium that won that game. Congratulations.